Hey, this is Russ. Tomorrow, September 19th, 2020, would be 1 year since my knee replacement. So I thought it was appropriate to do a recap video on things that have happened in this past year to bring you up to speed. Now, if you're a new person to my channel, you're going to want to watch all of this because there's going to be photos that I'm going to show you, and you'll get a history of what had happened to me. If you've been with me for a long time, some of this is going to be a rerun of everything that you've heard before. But considering we've had over 50 videos, it might be good to be able to see some of these things. And maybe you didn't see all those videos. So I'm going to recap everything first. And then at the end of it all, I'm going to tell you how I truly feel about knee replacements, about my own knee replacement, and where I think the future is going to lie for me. So you want to watch to the end. And again, I apologize for this thing being so long, but please stick with me. You'll see a whole bunch of stuff that I'm sure you'll enjoy seeing. Okay, all right. So if you're squeamish about seeing photos, okay, you can look away right now. Okay, and I'll let you know when it's time to look back. Okay, so let's start out now. The first thing I want to show you is this Bionic Cure unit. Bionic Cure is a electro impulse type product that gives a little electrical stimulus to your knee. Supposedly helps you in terms of pain, but it really never did that much for me. In fact, I was actually allergic to the sensors that are stuck to your knee, and I actually had to stop using it. It wasn't cheap. It was several $1,000s that I had to pay out to get this thing. Anyways, this is because I had torn meniscuses in my knees about 16 years ago for the left knee, 11 years ago for the right knee. But I eventually went past it and never used it again. The next thing I ended up investing in for my knee was a scooter. Okay, so you can see the mobility scooter that I use here. I still use it to this day, but a lot less now. All right, so here's the knee. All right, this is right out of surgery. So you can see what I consider looking like a football. It's got like laces, right? This is the look of the knee because of the staples and everything. So it doesn't look too good, but you can see progressively it gets a little bit better in time, okay? But it's not perfect, all right? But overall, you can see that the knee is quite swollen as well. And that swell stayed with me for a while. This is the CPM unit that I used. This helps bend your knee. I've had this from the start, right after surgery, and I had it for 3 months. So this video part here that you're seeing is how the machine automatically bends me, all right? So you can see it's lifting my leg up, and eventually we'll head back down again. So I guess I was able to do close to what they claim to be 90 degrees. But again, there's some give or take there, okay? So I know it wasn't 90 because I knew that from the onset I was never able to hit 90 degrees because of the problems that I had. And that forced me into having my knee manipulated in the operating room. So I had an MUA, manipulation under anesthesia, about a month after the surgery. And then a month after that, I did it again. So I had a second MUA done 2 months in. Here I am in the hospital. This device, I don't know what they call it. You're supposed to breathe in, not out. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. This is the knee I actually have. This is called the Persona, made by Zimmer Biomet. So this is what is actually in me at this point. Here's my surgeon doing the first manipulation. So you can see that he's pushed me to 130 degrees when I'm knocked out. And then he was able to get an extension of 0 degrees. So we know it's possible. It's just that I was never able to get it there. So even though he got it to 130, I wasn't able to do that. Here's my second manipulation. Again, he was able to push it to 130 degrees and to be able to get an extension of 0 degrees again. But even with lots of physical therapy, and I went to 80 sessions of physical therapy over about 6 months of time, I wasn't able to get that. But I did hit 130 eventually. They actually strapped me down on the table. And I was on a walker for quite a long time before I was able to graduate to a cane. And I'm hoping one day I won't have to use the cane, but that's still coming. I do use a recumbent bike. I have one made by Schwinn, And that has helped me in terms of keeping me moving. Okay, I don't do it as much now as I did in the past, but my hope was eventually to move on to a regular bike and go out on the bike path. And you see me say that on the very first knee video. I also joined a gym, and that gym helped me quite a bit. I was able to do leg presses, which was kind of necessary to kind of build up those quad muscles and everything. And unfortunately, I was only at like 20 pounds or something like that. It wasn't a whole lot of weight, but that's all I was able to do in the beginning stages of me going to the gym. But eventually I had to stop because of the COVID-19 situation, and that's what actually stopped me from physical therapy as well. So even though I had 80 sessions, I was going to continue further, but I just couldn't do it because of social distancing and things like that. So I was prescribed a unit by Jazz Joint Active System. You can see from this photo, this is how much bend I had, and this is where I'm at today. So I'm actually able to go to the fullest maximum level that the Jazz knee is able to push me into at this point. But at a time, I wasn't able to do that when I first got it back in December and January. So Jazz gave it back to me, and they're helping me now to get me back to have better extension, better flexion. So here you're just seeing me currently what I'm doing. Now, before the flexion started up again with the Jazz, I was only able to do 104, but I had hit 130 degrees when the physical therapist was pushing me. So you can see here how much of a bend that actually is I'm able to do now, okay? So I measured out about 115 degrees or more, okay? This is my first time on the extension back in December and January, but now you can see with the unit back in my hands or on my knee, you can see it looks a lot straighter now, right? But I'm still 10 degrees or maybe a little bit less than 10 degrees now, but we're hopeful that it will go better than that. This is a photo of my knee back in April of 24, and you can see it's still kind of swollen, okay? And with this next upcoming photo, you can see this was done just a day or so ago. The swelling is down, okay? I don't know why it's still dark on the top part of my knee, but it does. It still looks that way. But it is better now than it was in the past, so I'm thankful for that. Hopefully it'll get even better looking. Eventually, the right knee is going to need some help too. I'm going to push that off as long as I can possibly do that. And of course, I don't really feel pain on a daily basis anymore. It's only painful if I'm pushing to the point where I'm screaming. So I don't consider it pain anymore. Okay, there's no more photos. You can look back again now. And I did go through a bout of depression, which I know a number of people who do go through this have depression issues. Was I suicidal? No, I don't think so. But I did question, why me? Why is this happening? My life will never be the same. So for those who are going through that, please know that it does get better and that you'll get over that, okay? Talk to people if you have to. Anyways, that is the quick history of what has happened with my knee. So now the question is, how do I feel about it after a year? All right, so I'm going to tell you truly how I feel. Was it successful? Yeah, I would say it's successful. Am I glad I did it? Not yet. People always say, yeah, I'm glad I did it. It was the best thing I ever did. I cannot say that yet, okay? And here's why. I'm still not walking very well, okay? My extension's not there. I'm always still slightly bent. And to tell you the truth, I walked better before the knee replacement. Now, I know that there are people who have bone against bone, and they're to the point where they can barely even walk. So at this point, if I was like that, I would say, yes, totally, it was worth it. But I wasn't, okay? In fact, my doctor said, you're not 100% bone against bone. You should probably hold off on this. But I told him that, my quality of life had diminished so much that I was really kind of stuck on the scooter all the time for about 5 years. And I says, how long do you want me to keep being on the scooter? And as long as I stay on that scooter, that knee's not going to get any worse. I mean, if I'm not really working on it and walking a lot on it, I could go another 10 more years without this knee replacement. But I don't want to be stuck on the scooter forever. So because of that, he said, okay, I will do the surgery because your quality of life has diminished. But realistically speaking, if you saw me before the knee replacement and you watched me walk, Okay, and we're not talking like walking several blocks. I'm just talking like you watch me walk to the car, you watch me walk around the office, you watch me do my everyday duties. You would say this guy has absolutely no problems with knees because he walks exactly like everybody else. Really, just as quick, just as fast, just as everything. Because I'm not stressing out that knee. All right, it's short term. So if you watched me, you would say he has no problems with his knee. I had people come up to me because I have a handicap placard. I don't need the handicap spot when I pull up to the spot. I need it when I come out of the store. That's when I'm hurting. Okay, that's why I want that car close for me. But people came up to me quite often and said, you're not handicapped. What's wrong with you? Why are you taking this spot? Okay. I really got tired of that, quite frankly, okay, because they don't know, okay? But again, if you watched me from the start, you would say, this guy's got no issues, absolutely no issues. Today, if you watched me, I have issues, and that's all because of the knee replacement. I don't walk fast. I kind of hobble. I'm not fully straight anymore. My back even looks like I'm bent over a lot of times because I'm kind of compensating for that not perfectly extended knee. So I don't walk very well or very quickly. So in that sense, was it worth it? No, it wasn't worth it. Will it eventually get better? I hope so. In which case, at that point, I would say maybe it was worth it because now I can do more things. I will say this, that the typical pain I would have if I step wrong and then I could feel, oh man, that really hurts because the bone is kind of rubbing against the other bone a little bit. I don't really have that anymore. So in that sense, was it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it for that. I do feel that on my right knee now, and that's because I'm putting a lot more work on the right knee to compensate for the poor walking of the left knee. So it makes me wonder, when is the right knee going to be done? Because it may need it. Right now, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it until I absolutely need it, since I've gone through a whole year of effort to rehab this left knee. So, I'm not to the point where I can say it was worth going through a knee replacement. I know in time I will be able to say that, but I can't say it now. So, I'm sorry if this puts off some people, but that is the reality of how I feel about it. So, what do I think about knee replacements in general? Yeah, I think you need to do it. If you're bone against bone, you have to do it. Okay, will it hurt? Absolutely will hurt. Okay, this is going to be the worst pain you've ever felt. I have a very, very high tolerance for pain. I've always felt that. I didn't even really take much of the pain meds when they gave it to me because I'm not into that, and I can put up with it. But when that physical therapist was pushing me to the point of the maximum flexion I can get, I'm screaming in pain. I'm absolutely screaming in pain. That is the worst pain I've ever felt. I remember watching movies like Rambo or something, and then you see Rambo getting tortured and stuff like that. And I go, yeah, come on, how much can those things hurt? Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like torture. So does this put people off? Yeah, I'm sure it probably would. It probably would put some people off, that they'd be so scared that they don't want to do it. But I want to tell you that you need to know that it's going to hurt. All right. I mean, you're doing a major surgery to your knee. I mean, for those who think it's not going to hurt, you're fooling yourself. It's going to hurt like crazy. Okay. You need to be aware of that. And you also need to be aware too that although your doctor will tell you that most people will be finished in 2 to 3 months, there are those who don't finish in 2 to 3 months. I'm one of them, okay? And I know that a lot of my viewers, they're one of them too. They're going through issues. They have told me that this was worth it for them to watch me. And many of them to continue to watch me because they're tired of watching videos where people are saying, oh, this was great, no problems, I'm okay, at 2 months I'm back to normal, I'm doing better than I ever have. That's great, but there's those who don't hit that. And that's why I'm doing these videos, okay? So what have I learned? Here's what I learned. And one of my viewers recently just mentioned this as well. You got to do a lot of exercise before the surgery. I'm glad she brought that up because it is necessary. I didn't know that. If I knew that, I would have worked out harder. But the thing is, I went into the surgery pretty quickly after making the decision that maybe I should get this done. I didn't know that I should have exercised to the point where my quad muscles were stronger and everything. And I didn't walk that much. Remember, I just told you that I was mostly on the scooter. So really, I wasn't prepared for this surgery. And so that probably is the reason why it's taking me so much longer than everybody else. Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys who haven't done surgery yet and are thinking about it. Work on those quad muscles. Work on exercise as much as you can, as best as you can I know it hurts because of your knee, but you got to get that to the level where you feel like you're stronger. Then go in for the surgery. That will help a lot. All right. So when I get my right knee done, I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be working it like crazy to make sure it's as strong as it can before I even go in. I think that would really make a big difference. That's one thing I've learned. Okay. Also know that it could take longer than a couple of months. All right. If you're one of the lucky ones, like everybody else typically is, okay, a couple of months you might be okay. Because I've seen it. I've seen people at my physical therapy places where they just had their knee replacement done. A couple of weeks later, they're bending better than I am. Okay. And I've been there for months, right? So there are people who are very lucky. I've seen people with 2 knees done at the same time, and they're walking around in 2 months, they're finished. So is it possible? Yes, it can be possible. But be prepared in case it isn't, all right? I will also tell you too, don't do this on your own. Make sure you have a family member or somebody who can be there with you, okay? Because you're going to need them. You're going to need them to help you get to the washroom. You're going to need them to get your knee wrapped up before you go into a shower, all that kind of stuff, all right? You're going to need them. And be prepared for bouts of depression. Okay, that was never brought up to me, but I will tell you the depression is real. And I've heard this from many of the other people who watch Russ is Right. I will tell you, things will get better. You will feel like your life is over. Okay, it isn't. All right, I want to firmly tell you it isn't over. Because if I can bring myself back from that to where I am today, you can do that too. All right. Will it be 100% perfect? Maybe not. Learn to accept what you have, okay? I've accepted that I'm never going to be able to kneel on this thing. I will never be able to bend it like I used to, okay? And by the way, I did hurt my knees because of Taekwondo. And I know that I had a number of thumbs down when I mentioned that before because the guys that are martial arts guys and they watch this and they go, oh, that guy's bad-mouthing martial arts. No, I'm not. I'm actually still very interested in martial arts. It's the thing that messed me up. But yeah, I get real excited when I watch a good martial arts sequence or like watching The Karate Kid now, right? In the Netflix series. Yeah, I still like that stuff. And by the way, I can identify what's good form and what's not good form. I might not be able to do it anymore, but I know the value of good forms and not good form of kicking and things. So anyways, be aware that you might go through some depression. Seek out some help for that, okay? But it will get better, all right? So here's my overall feeling. Was it worth it? Not yet. Was it worth doing? Probably. Would I do it again? Probably. Yeah, I would. It's a lot of pain. It's a lot of effort. But I know in time it will be better. Okay, will I be perfect? No, I already know I won't be. But I've accepted that. And you need to learn to accept it, okay? If you can't get 100% perfect, then that's okay. I'm going to shut my phone down here. So don't worry too much about how things are. Go with flow. Do the best you can. And eventually things will be better. Okay, continue watching my channel. I'm going to continue doing this. I really didn't want to do this as a knee replacement channel, but I'm seeing that more and more people are watching this channel because of the knee replacement. I had worried what will happen once my knee is perfect and I won't be able to talk about this anymore. I think there's still things to talk about. Okay, people have encouraged me to continue on. I will continue on. So if you're not a knee replacement guy and you're watching Russ is Right and you're thinking, okay, this thing has turned into a knee replacement channel, I'm leaving. Don't do that either, okay? Because I will be doing other things besides knee. I can't talk knee replacement, 3 times a week, 2 times a week. There's just not that much to talk about. But I will give updates on how I'm doing and some hints and tips, all right, for those who are still working at it. And I do enjoy hearing from you guys, so definitely put a comment to let me know how things are going for you, okay? Because I do enjoy seeing that, and I do respond back. As long as the channel is not so huge, it's easy enough for me to respond back, and I respond pretty quickly, okay? All right, that is it for today. Soldier on for those who are still working their knee replacements, and I will do the same, and hopefully in time I'll be as good as new, as they say. I don't know about that. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, hit all that button stuff, okay? And I will talk to you guys next time.